Hello, hello. This is KSM Podcast Growing Business Online with Krisitina. Today is a new episode of Podcast Growing Business Online with Krisitina. And I am super excited to have my special guest speaker today, Mary Gooden. Mary Gooden is publisher. Mary Gooden is coming from US, Arizona. So, Mary, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Krisitina, for having me. Always a delight, really, to be alongside of you and to connect with you. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. And, it's not the first time that we have conversation and podcasting. It's a little bit, we have many of them. And tell us a little bit about you, who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. So as Krisitina mentioned, I'm Mary Gooden. I live here in Sedona, Arizona, and I also have a residence in New Orleans, Louisiana. I am the CEO and founder of Divine Destiny Publishing, sacred wellness advisor and activator, podcast host of Shine Your Soul Light podcast, and I am really just here to live a life less ordinary, to show up on purpose and share everything that I'm learning and growing and expanding in with anyone and everyone who's willing to listen. I do support conscious leaders, coaches, entrepreneurs, and shining their light, sharing their voices and sharing their stories on a global platform through publishing. I serve really, truly as the heart of humanity and lead my clients on sacred retreats here in Sedona. One of the most powerful energies that I have experienced in this lifetime for myself, to open their heart and shine their light, which is, again, the title of my podcast. So it's all about paving the way to a brighter future. And in whatever stream or flow or connection or collaboration or way that I can support and link arms with and stand alongside others that came here to create lasting change, I'm a sacred yes.
Yeah, that's nice. And Mary, it's so nice and lovely talking to you today because I know how your energy is flowing. And can you tell us a little bit? I mentioned that you said that you are from Arizona, Sedona. You are to the other parts of the world. I'm in Europe, in Serbia, Southeast Europe, Belgrade, and your host today. So we are in the different part of the world, but we are like that. We are in neighborhood, like two many long time period friends. And can you tell us a little bit about your background and what triggered you and what were your challenges to start your business, your own business journey?
So my journey, in a nutshell, right? I started in I like to call it the corporate carnival, in a corporate career, as a very empowered, feminine, rising in the masculine energy, a big doer, right? Success was the model of climbing the corporate ladder, of getting into your boss energy and really high and heavy energies of running a business, running somebody else's business and leading somebody else's team and watching somebody else's finances, consulting different businesses on how to create a better platform for their staff so they too can also watch these bottom lines. I was a business and office manager, and I spent zillions of hours a week doing it for someone else. Loved my CEO president. Loved, devoted to watching somebody else's dream, supporting somebody else's dream. And that was a big deal for me. And at one point in my life, I sat down and I said, what are you doing? Devoting your life to somebody else's dream, giving everything that you have to somebody else's dream. You know, it's kind of the way that we were conditioned and programmed as men and women, right? Be the best employee in some senses. Perhaps there was something around me that that didn't lead me to believe that I could have my own, that I could devote myself to my own business. But that dream soon came into the front lines for me. It was, I really wanted to have something of my own. And misery crept in, right? Because I started to realize that I was devoting all of my energy in my life to someone else's dream. I'll say it again. And so I decided to shift that. And now I have a background of teaching yoga. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm a Reiki master, practitioner, breath work, meditation. You name the tools, and I have at least given them 2 experiences, right? Because I believe we should do everything twice. So I am fond of the practices that really, when you bundle them all up, are designed to teach us how to go in. And so it's been over 20 years since I started going in, and it took me 10 at minimum to climb my way out of what I had created as an external dream. And I started going in. So I decided to resign. I was married to the father of my children at the time. We had been married for almost 20 years. I got married very young. We waited to have children. You know, I wanted to make sure I was checking all the boxes to make sure that I wouldn't fail at being a successful mother and corporate climber and woman and all the things, right? And so I sold the house, and he was on his last tour. He was in the Navy. So he was on his last tour in Japan at the time. And that's really when the sky opened up and the heavens said, it's time. And so I sold the house. We didn't split. I told him, I was honest. And he said, whatever you need to do, Mary. And so my sister and I bought a little fitness club because I love teaching fitness. I like lifting weights. I like doing the Pilates. I like running. I like all the things movement. In fact, what I'll tell you a little bit later is daily movement is one of my non-negotiables. And this is why I am so inner-harmonious and joyful. I have 3 non-negotiable things, okay, every day. So daily movement is one of them. So we bought a fitness club in the little town of Booty in New Orleans. It was a little town and it was a little place. And I moved away from a big job in a big place, right? So I condensed. And as one would say it here, the shit hit the fan. And I was doing what I loved, and what began to happen is there was some disappointment moving from the other end, from my partner, my husband at the time. And you know, things started to turn, and I was experiencing an ultimate amount of opening myself up and really tuning into my own devotion after supporting a military career for 20 years. And he was on the other side, a little bit disappointed that I had sold all these materialistic pieces of our life. And so that was the shift. It's living a life less ordinary. So I decided to walk away from the American dream, or the Australian dream, or the European dream, or the dream, 2 kids, 2 cars, 2 dogs, big house, swimming pool. I decided to walk away for self-devotion because I wasn't ever happy. And I wanted to feel and experience joy. And I was a very joyful child. And I've always known that the joy was in there. But I got wrapped up in somebody else's dream for me. A joy sucker, right? So things started to shift and move and twist and turn. And I had the small fitness club. I finally opened up my own yoga studio.
And fitness club just opened your and shifted your life in some way. And you felt joy, like a kid, because when we were a kid, we felt joy and playing outside and with kids from the street, from the neighborhood. That's nice. Yeah, I agree with you. You change cliche into your joy, and you can also continue. Sorry, but
Oh, no.
I needed to just to comment on that, what you're
It's
saying.
important for the listeners and us to remember it's like going back to my child. It's going back to the childlike behavior that dreams can come true. And and there's limitless possibility. Most of us had that experience at some point as a child, like awe and wonder. And that's where I went. You're absolutely right. I went back to, wait a minute. Life is supposed to be fun and playful. And there's supposed to be some easy things in here. Joy. And so the studio came, and then Sedona started calling, because I was living in New Orleans at the time. And so I came, and I did a retreat here, and I opened up even more. And I spent a month in Bali, and things just started to unravel. The entire time of my first marriage, while he was traveling around the world, and I was raising babies and working in the corporate carnival and running a household, and I wasn't doing this in spite. It was an agreement we made, and I was down for it. We were all down for it then, and I was happy to do it, because I knew at the moment of retirement, which was in the 40s, like I had it. I said, I'm retiring at 40. When he retires from the military, I'm retiring too. And I knew that doing all that, if I could just do all that and keep it glued together, that when we retired, I could go do the traveling, and I could go have the fun, and I could go play. But I first had to realize what that needed to be for me, because I was still living in somebody else's dream, and I didn't know what that looked like. And so I did. I got to do the travel. I did end up divorced. I ended up divorced. I ended up with a yoga studio. I ended up with a condo in Sedona. Things just kept unraveling. And at the moment that I closed the yoga studio and bought a place here in this very high vibration of love, Sedona, Arizona is like sitting in the bosom of Mother Gaia. It is a safe, supported, loving place for me. And everybody's different, right? Everybody's vibration and frequency is different. I was kind of in a place of this, you've got to reach more people. You know that, Krisitina, right? Like, it's time you need to share a message. You need to start, you need to start a podcast. You need to start sharing your voice, and you need to start sharing the voices of others, but you go first. And I was like, oh, okay, what does that mean? And months of that I was listening to come through me in my head. I was hearing it and I didn't know. And I was then invited to my first multi-author book. I didn't have an online business.
And how did you start? What happened in that time, and what has moved through your mind and body and head to start? What told you, maybe universe, who knows, to start with your book? What triggered you? How that happened? Can you share for our listeners about your first book?
I didn't start. Just started. The invitation was coming from my heart. So during the time that I owned a yoga studio, there was more deep devotion. Like, when you start moving through the practices of the self journey, knowing thyself, loving thyself, the universe, God, creator, source, divine, whoever it is that you connect with, or I am.
Who do you really believe? Is it
Right.
God? Is it universe? Whoever may be, You're right.
And I did. I believed in what I was being asked from everything in me was to find a global audience. And so I was invited to my first multi-author book. And I almost said no, because I didn't put two and two together. But because I said no, because in my mind, when I saw the invitation, this is how life is happening for most of us right now, so pay attention. It was the two things I heard when I said, I don't have a story and I don't write. The universe, God, source, creator, divine, was inviting me to the experience that I was being called to serve in, a global audience, in a way that I instantly had a boundary up that said, I can't. You see, we can do anything that we want. The goal of moving through this life experience in your business and in your life is to recognize that there's no I can'ts. You can. Yes, it was going to be a challenge. Yes, I heard the inside of me say, oh, it was fear, right? And there's nothing to be afraid of. Every experience is an invitation. It's a gift to be inspiring. And so that's what happened. I said, yes. I said, I hear you that you don't think you can do this. So I'm going to make you do it. I'm going to say yes. And so I shared my first story in a book called Phoenix, Women Who Rise from the Ashes and Find Hope. Because I had spent 25 years.
You wrote this book, only you.
No, this was a multi-author book.
Multi-author.
There were 18 other authors in this book. And I wrote about the experience of shifting my life after 25 years of marriage and 25 years of career, and letting all that go for a deeper level of self-devotion. And then I wrote another chapter in another book. And then 8 months later, I started my own publishing company because it felt so good to share the voices and the visions of people all over the world, how they're shining their light, what activated them, what experience in their life activated them. And it grew a business that I never had. In the first year of my publishing company, I had over 100K in my bank account. So just to bring this all the way back to a podcast, we're talking about growing businesses online. Because I said yes to a deeper level of self-devotion.
I can do it. I can do it.
I can do it.
I can do it.
I'm going to do things that are uncomfortable for me. I'm going to do things that my instant reaction is a hell no. I'm going to do those things. And those are the things that I keep doing with my podcast, with my retreats, with my international speaking presentations. These are the things that I'm doing to continue to share these voices, because it's about creating connection. And we don't need to be right next to each other to do it anymore. It's about creating connection in business. We're doing business a whole different way. We're doing business from a heart-centered place.
Like a heart-centered entrepreneurs, online business entrepreneurs.
So that is my story in about 20 minutes, I think I gave you. And today I stand here preparing my stage presentation on living a life less ordinary. I have 3 non-negotiable things. There are 3 things I do every single day. It's number 1 is daily connection. I connect with myself. Show me the way today. What is mine to share? I call in my guides, my gods, my graces. I call in my ancestors. I call in my daughters. I call in this. I hold space for this. It takes me about 10 minutes every morning. It is my time. For others, it might look like meditation. For some, it might, whatever it is. I put my hands on my heart and I say, show me the way today. What is mine to share? After that, number 2, non-negotiable, I go move. I go for a walk. I go for a jog. I move my energy body. I move it. And then I'm all moved. I'm all jazzed up. My vibration is high. I know who I am. I know what's expected of me. I've gotten any jitters or anxiety out from the body, because the body holds energy. So I've moved that out. So guess what comes next? I celebrate. I celebrate. I celebrate that I connected again today, that I moved again today, that I had another breath, that I got another client, that I had a delicious meal, that I have electricity. I celebrate. Guess what happens to my vibration then, Kristina?
All of them are raising up, raising up.
And guess what happens when your vibration is high in humanity right now? You are limitlessly supported in ways you cannot imagine or have ever seen before. And I'm a walking, talking human of that. I know who I am. I love who I am. I have everything that I need. And I started just where everybody else did. Go figure.
It's nice, I agree with you because, just when we know who we are, what we do, and when we do that from our hearts, and when we are connected with universe, and we have never say no, we can always we need to open up, to open our eyes and head and mind to move forward. We are all, as I said in your podcast, we are all givers and receivers, and we just need to be open for celebration. As you said, say gratitude. And I agree with you. We need to celebrate every single piece of our and step over the day, what we do. And when we get up, thank you, God, thank you, Lord, thank you, universe, that I'm alive today, that I can walk, that I can do my business, But through all our business and entrepreneurial life and everything, in corporate job or whatever it may be, people still just forget about their health. People really forget of themselves and just move forward to get income, to earn money. But when they get back, they see, and I agree with you, you do amazing job. Just that you spend time on you, and when you get up, to know who you are and what you do, and that you're thankful and grateful for everything what you do over the day, over the week, over the years. That's really amazing.
Yeah, it's me first. And I know that I want to say, I'm glad I said it just like that, because I know that some people listening might just cringe, because we've built a society of service, on serve others to your own demise. So, yep, a radical change is me first, because I can't take care of you unless I know how to take care of me. Otherwise, I'm just faking it, right? And then one day you're going to wake up and feel uncared for, because I was never caring for you in the first place, because I didn't know how to care for me. All right. So it's a radical twist, and you might call it selfish, and you might call it this, but it's being soulful. I can't authentically take care of anything that you need ever until I know what it feels like to take care of me, until I know what it feels like in all 5 of my senses. And then I can effectively and efficiently and wholeheartedly serve you. And that's what I get to do. I went to go on a hike yesterday. Random, me and my girlfriend, random. I'm telling you a story because this is my life. This is every moment of my life. And we pulled up into the parking lot, and I walked up to go use the restroom, and a man was leaving. He said, here's my parking pass. You don't need to buy one. It's good for the whole day. Every moment that happens for me. Because he must have felt some kind of vibration coming off of me. Because I take care of me, and my vibration stays high, and then I can take care of you, and other people can feel me, right? And like you just said, it's giving and receiving, and people just want to randomly give to me. So guess what I do for other people? I randomly give to them. It's easy for me.
Yeah, and I totally understand you, because when I I wanted to give, I wanted to help, I help people and always get me back. In every time when I need something, just like I got it. And people come to me and say, Kristina, I want to work with you. Would you like to be is it going to be my competition part is going to be my collaborator, to be partners, and that's really nice. And can you tell us a little bit how people can work with you in terms to be in your
Absolutely.
cultures of many cultures in your book, contributors, so I can say.
Yeah.
And
It's so easy to get in touch with me. My website is marygooden.com, MARYGOODEN.com. And I do all kinds of wonderful things that will help you create the VIP experience. I create it for you through publishing, through business coaching, through energy coaching, through retreats, through collaboration. And that's how I really came here to support. And if I could give you one idea, you can find all of that on my website. One thing that you can change for your growing business is learn how to receive. And what does that look like in a growing business? Learn how to collaborate, learn how to reach out to people and connect with them, learn how to receive, because it's going to expand you. It's going to expand you beyond all the things. It's the one thing that's always missing in business that feels like it's not growing, is you're just not receiving.
And you work with entrepreneurs and
Coaches,
all around the
leaders,
globe, coaches all around the globe.
all
And how
around the globe.
people start working with you? Do you have, let's say, do you create a specific title of your book projects, or you need to research it, what people want, and then you move into that project? Just for listeners who will listen to that podcast on Spotify, on Google app, on YouTube channel, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. This is going to be KSM podcast.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And so there's different ways to connect with me. I like to, like I said, I offer the VIP experience, visibility, impact, and purpose through everything that's intertwined. And there, when you land on the website, there are book titles for the multi-author projects that I do. There are book titles already available that are seeking contributors, that are people, contributors are people that are ready to share their story, to level their business, to increase their visibility, to create a bigger impact. And to do that with purpose is to gain prosperity. Hands down, it's a win-win. I also work with solo authors. I have a solo author program for people that are ready to write their solo book, or to rewrite your solo book in English, or to write a workbook for your business, or to create an ebook for your business. All these things are available. We create book covers, promotional images, and all that sauce, everything. Most things that I offer are a done for you service. And I just like a connection call just to see how we get to play together. There's no boundaries or barriers or walls, right? We can expand in ways that we have never seen before or have imagined. And this is true. This is the way that I lead through my business. And this is what we're doing. So yes, there are titles that are seeking contributors, and they're right there on the website. If you click the box that says Divine Destiny Publishing, yes, there is more you can learn about the solo author experience. There is the energetic and self-devotion piece that I offer through coaching and different levels and different layers of anchoring your own light there through energetic coaching. Stepping into your receiving energy, and you can come see me in person live. I have all the Sedona, Arizona retreats for this year are right there at your fingertips, ready to book. So
oh, that's really amazing. Many, many things. So, and people can connect you on Facebook as well, on Instagram, or yours also. Facebook
is probably the only one that I'm really live on. And it's just Mary Gooden. It's Mary Gooden on Facebook. Yeah, no, I don't play on any of the other ones. I just, I like to.
And you have your group also, and you're also, and Brains Magazine. I mean, people can find you there as an executive contributor. Also, I mean,
I'm there in Brains, and I am also. You can get my podcast on Spotify, Apple, all the things there. It's Shine Your Soul Light.
And then we'll put all your information about your website and podcast under this in my group KSM Facebook group, and also all those Apple and Spotify. And yeah, it's going to be very nice. And this podcast, this is going to be in May. So because this is recording, so it's nice. It's so nice having you today. If I asked you many questions. If you have anything to add before we ramp up this call, just a message for our client, for our listeners, for people who wanted to publish book, for people who wanted to start business, or just they are shy, but they need to be shiny,
The one thing that I remind myself of every day, and I say it multiple times a day, and I tell most people, hey, just let it be easy, let it be fun.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
let it
very simple. Simplify things. Yeah, like a kid. Yeah. When you don't have kid in your body, you're just like very old. So we need to have kids in our body all our life. I think to be let it be funny. Mary, thank you so much for being my special guest speaker today. I'm super excited, and I enjoy talking to you, really.
Thank you, Krisitina. The same to you. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day and see you very soon. Bye for now.
Bye.